The Samsung S25 Ultra, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, these are the two best smartphones in the world right now, so let's really see which one's better, and you might be surprised. So let's start off with every special feature on these, beginning with the Samsung. The first and probably the most obvious is the S Pen, because this thing has been around for years. And even though you're probably only going to use it now and again, it's good to know that you at least have it whenever you need. In my opinion, it also does just make Samsung stand out from every other smartphone out there. Okay, then there's multitasking too, which lets you use split screen to work on multiple things at once, which is super handy. It has the new Now bar on the lock screen, nice, as well as the status bar to quickly open things up like your music. Samsung DeX is also nuts because you just plug an HDMI cable into the S25 Ultra and it literally transforms your smartphone into a computer. That basically does everything a normal computer or laptop does. I mean, that's pretty wild. Then there's also wireless battery share, which is really handy to just quickly charge up your buds if they're low on battery. And let's not forget secure folder, which is kind of like the best way to keep your photos, your videos, or files safe. As for all the special and unique features on the iPhone, there's the camera control button that you can use to open up the camera and control a bunch of different things like the zoom, exposure, filters, and of course, snapping pics. There's the action button on the other side, and this one you'll probably use even more because you can assign it to do basically anything, like muting your iPhone, for example, opening any application you want, nice, or even triggering the flashlight. The dynamic island is pretty special too, because you can use it to control a bunch of things like your music, control timers, and even track things like your flights, which is pretty nifty. The name drop feature is also really nifty because you just tap one iPhone to another, then you can send your contact info. And what's nice is this also works with sending files, photos, or videos too, which is pretty awesome. Satellite SOS is another special feature, but let's be honest, you'll probably never use it. And there's also car crash detection as well, which I hope you never have to use. Plus, the iPhone also has a LiDAR camera sensor, which the camera uses for focus and some other things. So the iPhone does technically have extra special features, but the Samsung special features are just more useful and practical, so it gets the point. But what about cameras? Now, when it comes to cameras, both these have a similar setup. The Samsung rocks a 200 megapixel standard camera, a 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 50 megapixel zoom camera. Meanwhile, the iPhone uses three 48 megapixel cameras all across the board. So here is a 1x photo on both phones, and the results look pretty much the same. Next, I took a 0.5x picture, and the only difference here was the iPhone is a bit wider than the Samsung. The zoom really surprised me. Samsung has a 5 times optical zoom, iPhone has 4 times optical zoom, and here you can really see a difference in the lighting. But when you zoom from optical all the way to max digital zoom, even though Samsung hits 100 times and the iPhone only hits 40 times, I think the iPhone's photo actually came out looking better. As for the selfie cameras, the iPhone is now 18 megapixels, and it can switch between landscape and portrait without physically turning the phone, which is really nice. Compared to the 12 megapixel selfie cam on the Samsung camera, which you still have to physically rotate if you want a landscape selfie. But overall, the pics themselves, I think both phones took really great selfies, and the colors were also very accurate. As for video, this is where you'll see the most difference. So iPhone, you can shoot in ProRes RAW, log, and 4K. Samsung, you can shoot in log, 4K, and 8K. Both phones captured insane detail in log and pulled a lot of color, highlights, and shadows. You can see there is a bit of a difference between the footage from both phones, but overall, they really did amazing. But this is where Samsung misses the mark every year, because their standard 4K videos always have this kind of exposure shifting going on, which is actually really noticeable. And even though Samsung can film in 8K, honestly, it doesn't look twice as good. In my opinion, the iPhone definitely looks better. So, when it comes to photos, they are practically identical. As for videos, the iPhone is just the better option, so it gets the point. But to see those photos and videos, which one has the better display? So this is quite interesting. Samsung is still making the majority of iPhone screens, including those on the 17 Pro Max. And because of that, both phone screens are pretty much the same. When you put them together side by side, there is not even a difference in size. They are practically identical, top to bottom, side to side. The only real difference are the corners. As you can see, Samsung has slightly more screen. And where there's another slight difference is in their brightness. Both are extremely bright indoors, including outdoors, but the iPhone does reach